Hello. It is Monday, March 15th, 2021. And this is the Yormish workout cycle, whatever. Workout project, maybe. It is Cycle 6, Chapter 3, Part 1. And what I like about continually doing this and videoing this is, yep, I stand corrected. It does lead to some sort of momentum. All right, this is what I started out doing 2 years ago. It was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type thing. I didn't actually use this diagram. I wrote it down in a little notebook, but I like this diagram all the same. And it's just basically 5 exercises. Either shoulder machine or shoulder press, latissimus dorsi pull down, back pull downs, which is actually something I did like a day or two ago, or maybe even yesterday. Yeah, I think yesterday. Wow. Then there's a tricep medley, dips, kickbacks, skull crushers. Then there's incline curls. And then there is going to be lateral raises. And then maybe a bonus if I feel like it. Chances are, I don't think I will. I think I might have trouble with some of these numbers I've written down. I kind of like writing down the numbers ahead of time. And also with the lateral raises, I'm going to be doing them to the halfway point. I won't be raising my hands above my head. I think I'm going to be bending my elbows. But because I'm doing that in that form, I'm going to increase the weight a little bit too. So we'll see how that feels. And then, all right. So let's hop to it. First, I'm going to set up. I just realized I got to do the public service announcement and set up the weight and then do a little bit of a warm up. So, public service announcement. Please do not waste your time watching this video unless you have a very specific reason to watch this video. All right, that being done, what did I say I was going to do? I was going to up the weight. Also, after I'm done stretching, hopefully I will practice the fine art of being quiet and really kind of zone in mentally to what I'm doing and maybe get better results out of this whole thing. But I think the consistency is really going to give me the results I want. What did I write down? I think I wrote down a certain number, and the reason I'm not talking about the numbers is comparison is the thief of joy. I made a mistake, and I'm still feeling, not a mistake, I did the right thing, but I did a whole bunch of calf raises recently, and then I saw a video of people doing a couple different videos of people doing these challenges where they do 30-day challenges, and it's like 100 calf raises a day for 30 days. Amazing stuff. And it was just like, back to comparison is the thief of joy. It was just like, wow, I did a little over that one day, and I'm actually feeling it 3 days later. Today, my calves were the tightest. Not necessarily painful, I'm just kind of walking funny. That's okay. And the good news is if I stretch them out, I'm feeling like if I needed to play drums tonight, I could totally play drums. It wouldn't affect any of my double bass type fun that I would have. It would just have to stretch out first, which is a good policy to do anyway. Usually when I play, I try to stretch out a little bit first. I like the idea of avoiding soreness if I can. That way, whatever soreness I get, I've probably earned. And also, I might be wrong about this, but I have a suspicion that you can get strong without getting too sore, or maybe even sore at all. I don't know, that would be amazing. But I think it's going to be a longer process, which I'm okay with, because I'm in this life thing for the long haul. This health thing is part of the life thing, and it seems like a good idea to be involved in both for the duration of my existence in this form. Whether there's any other forms, I don't know. But We'll find out. Oh, I don't want to find out anytime soon. Especially if it's just that big nothing. Not a big fan of that, but I do acknowledge it as a possibility. In other words, back to my religious ideals, all centering around one word, and that word is maybe. Okay. Let's put that. Yeah, that's going to be a good spot for me to kind of. Hopefully, that's going to be in frame for me to do a little bit of a stretch out. And now I will practice the fine art of becoming quiet. Bonus time. I think I watched a guy on YouTube that does all sorts of fitness things. He was talking about an excellent stomach exercise that I guess almost nobody does. I think he called it screwdrivers or screw twists or something like that. I think the guy's name was Jeff Coleman, but that doesn't sound right. Something like that. Anyhow, so gonna try those exercises here. Never done them before. Hopefully they'll feel good. I think I'm gonna call them screw twists. I'm not even sure if you use that name, but it seems very apropos. Just gonna do a few of them. Not gonna worry about counting. Just gonna type in, or gonna write in a few screw twists as a bonus. Because I watched another one of his videos, which was a 22-day challenge, and if I finish this week in 1 week, which all indicators seem to indicate, that means I'll probably have 22 days for Adventure Week, 3 weeks of Adventure Week. So I'll be able to start on Sunday, end on a Sunday, have like 22 days to do his belly fat challenge or something. Basically get the muscles underneath all this goofiness working a little bit better, or yeah, actually working a little better, stabilizing my spine, all sorts of good stuff. Although I do not have, I used to have lower back problems, but now the way I sleep and all the things I do as far as stretching out and some of the workout stuff really helps out with that a lot, especially with stretching. I hope something's going good. Just gonna rest for half a second, or a little longer. All right, let's get up there and try just a few of these screw twists. All right, so what it is, oh man, that feels weird. I'm not sure if you should bend your knees. I think in the video he didn't bend his knees very much. But that was an interesting feeling. I'll get better with that. That's the end of the workout. Felt pretty, I think I felt some of my edges there. Especially during the very first exercise. Those shoulder press. Whew. Wow. Or military press, or I wonder what the difference between shoulder press and military press is. Anyway, those are a bit much. And near the end, even bending my elbows with more weight than I'm used to. I used to do that kind of weight, but used to is not really so important to me. I'm not even gonna let comparisons to an older version of me, or a younger version of me, or a past version of me, I guess I should say, be the justification for any sort of comparison that may make me be less inclined. Yeah, there's a lot of hesitation in a lot of these things. One thing I was really happy about was the dips. Dips are intimidating. I remember getting wiped out on dips, and this I was able to do, like, the number of dips I set aside to, I was able to hit my goal without much of a problem. As a matter of fact, there was part of me that's like, you could do more. And then there was another part of me that was very pragmatic. Just touch your number. You got other things to work out that are going to be kind of difficult for you. So, you know, let's be pragmatic about this, but you know you can do that. So, hey, why not make it a challenge one day somehow? And who knows what the challenge will be.
Maybe the challenge will be as simple as how many dips can I do in one set? Or maybe I like the challenge I do with one of my good buddies is how many things can you do in 30 seconds as far as like a particular exercise, repetition on a bicep or whatever, but we don't actually count. That's the fun thing. We just do. And I'm thinking about taking that to the new level, which is back to not counting, but focusing on something we both care about. So if we're both interested in a band, and maybe he has a cup with that band name on it, and we'll stare at that coffee mug, and then we'll hit the timer for 30 seconds and just go and focus on that, and put a lot of our efforts and energies towards not just making ourselves better, but also happiness and faith and something we care about and want to make better. So that might be a fun challenge to play about with. Oh goodness. Also, there was a point in that whole workout, I think it was somewhere where I remember being on the incline chair and just saying to my body, back to that whole dividing my mind and my body to reunite them stronger, kind of subjective reality tool that I've been playing around with. I said to my body, hey, take as long as a rest you need to want. No pressures. We'll get to this. We'll get this done. Let's just stay here and rest and open ourselves up to healing, open ourselves up to strength to get to that next set. And didn't even look at the quit button. Didn't even look at like the let's stop button. And yes, my one buddy who used interesting means to persuade me to video this is probably laughing. Hopefully not in his grave, but that it's true. This does make me more accountable. And I do realize I haven't been posting these up publicly, but I probably should do that, because that just turns the accountability up. And it also turns up the ability, like, you know what I say, I really don't give two hoots, maybe a little bit, but not very much, about what people think about me, for the most part, unless I really respect the person and they have a judgment within their area that I respect, and they give me an opinion. But beyond that, I just let that kind of criticism go unless there's some sort of kernel of truth. And even if it's done maliciously, not taking it personally, just looking for that kernel of truth and asking that question, what can I learn from this? How can I become better from this? And asking those questions right now, I realize that there's a distinct possibility I'm embarrassed about my lack of progress. I've been on what I consider a fitness journey for more than a couple years, maybe almost 3 years. Like, I think it was May 2018 or possibly even 2017. And that May didn't get really, really dialed in. The intent was there, but the techniques and the ideas that I were messing around with weren't really working until August, and I wanted that progression to keep going. Bottom line, after I could say a whole bunch of words here, but I'll sum it up to myself with this. I am proud of myself, but I'm not happy about where I'm at. I'm glad I've done things, but I also look at all the times I've skipped days, ate too many cookies, too much French fries, stuff like that. There's things I've done right, and there's things I've done wrong. Consistently turning up the right and consistently turning down the wrong. Do I ever want the wrongs to go down to zero? I don't know if I need that kind of pressure right now, but maybe, and maybe some of them will turn down to almost zero naturally. Been real thin on the caffeine, but last night and the night before, I drank a can of Diet Mountain Dew that has caffeine in it. Anyhow, so things like that, you know. Not really going for zero, but the response on Sunday it was for the Diet Mountain Dew was, I had a headache, and I was wondering if caffeine, instead of causing me headaches from lack of caffeine when my body was acclimated to it, would actually alleviate the headache. and I drank about half the Mountain Dew, and waited about 10 minutes. The headache was still there, 10-15 minutes maybe. And then I just took some aspirin. It wasn't the worst headache, but it was definitely something I noticed, and I just didn't want. And it was also a good sign that, like, okay, aspirin works. 15 minutes after drinking half of a Mountain Dew does not. So, caffeine might be more problem than solution. Although I'm maybe thinking decaf might have those polyphenols that I've heard a few things about. Polyphenols that are good for certain things. I can't even think of it right now. All right, so let's go ahead and analyze some of the things I wanted to analyze. Maybe it was the incline curl, I was really feeling it, or it definitely wasn't the skull crushers. I was definitely feeling the lateral raises. Oh yeah, we're gonna write down the bonus, which is me, which is screw twists, stomach. I don't think stomach is spelled with an E, but for some reason I almost wanted to put an E at the end of that. I could be wrong. And there's some comfort in knowing just how many things you could be wrong about, and, well, me, maybe not you, but all these things I could be wrong about, and not really caring. Be like, I could be wrong. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Don't want to know everything. Don't want to get dragged down into the minutia. So many arguments boil down to nitpicky details that it just doesn't feel like a fun place sometimes. Anyhow, so bonuses. The bonus is done. Me, how many times did I do that? I probably did it 3, but I'll put 2 with a question mark. Or 3 question marks, because maybe I did 3. Who knows? Maybe I did 4. Doesn't really matter. I tried to really feel the exercise. That last set of lateral raises, I was really throwing the momentum. Not good form. Wanted to hit the numbers. Was definitely feeling it. Wherever I was feeling it. The shoulder press, left side definitely felt it at one time. That first set of 6. That was but gradually reduced the weight, and what I've been doing here, as I've said before in my first videos on this journey, was and back to reading it, you know, that reverse pyramid training. That first set is the heaviest in weight and the least amount of reps. Then the weight goes up and the reps go down. There's something beautiful about that. It feels like it feels correct. Like I said, I'm not in the state I want to be in. Also, like I've stated earlier, that Jeff Coleman, I'm actually going to write down probably on here, the 22-day challenge. I'm actually going to write down what happens each day, kind of indoctrinate it and get it a little bit closer to my brain, and go through that probably starting Saturday or Sunday, because this is only a Monday, Wednesday, Friday week. And going to be doing movement. And another thing I'm thinking about, maybe because those exercises on that 22-day stomach tightening up situation, it's supposed to tighten up your stomach in 2 ways. That whole process might be a good excuse for me to try to add a little bit extra, and that extra is figuring out within every 24-hour period, every day, do a bit of walking. I'm not going to videotape the walking because I'm going to be walking outside. But yeah, do a bit of walking, maybe about an hour's worth of walking. I got to find a pair of shoes I like for that walking. I tried walking around the block, which is probably about 3 miles, in these flip-flops that I got for my birthday last year or the year before. And I had to take those flip-flops off. They're special flip-flops with little spines on the rubber spines on the bottom that are supposed to massage the feet. My feet felt terrible. I guess that there's also something about, like, you have to get used to those things. And I have not walked a mile in those flip-flops in one go before or since. They're short distance flip-flops. In some ways they're kind of interesting, but probably a little overpriced. Definitely overpriced for something that makes you hurt after 3 miles. And I've done the same walking around the block just in my normal shoes without my feet feeling even remotely like that. Last time I did a walk around the block with just normal shoes, there was my big toe and my right foot was rubbing against the front of the shoe a little bit, and that felt slightly sore if I paid attention to it, but if I didn't pay attention to it, it didn't really feel like much. So it was like, okay, it was definitely the shoes. Anyhow, all right, so that's just me talking about life, thoughts, processes. Adventure Week is going to be 3 weeks because the first 3 chapters in this have been done week by week. Well, actually, the first chapter was done 2 weeks. So, now I just realized I might have to switch things up to do the full 22. But that's okay. If the cycle takes 8 weeks, I'm willing to bend. And I'm creating the rules for this thing so I can bend it for something that's worthwhile. And this thing seems credible, and it at least seems like something I can go through, especially if I'm stacking 2 things that I want to stack anyway. A nice relaxing amount of walking, an hour every day for 22 days, and then also going through that 22-day protocol for tightening my stomach, because once I've made a complaint about something, once I've issued it to the complaint department and the action department hasn't done anything about it, why did I put the complaint in the first place? Now maybe it was cathartic. Maybe I'm just looking at myself on these videos and being like, wow, that gut really should not be there. That would be nice if that was gone away. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself, just going to say this is what it is and there are ways around it, and ask myself, hey, am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to try certain things? I believe the answer is yes, but we will see. Oh man, gonna stretch out just a little bit. Oh, just a tiny bit right there. I guess I'm gonna just shut down the video and do some arm swings, because that seems like it's gonna do some good stuff. Maybe a few more static stretches on top of that. Who knows? Later it shall be.